Sustainable agriculture today faces a major challenge. How do we produce enough food while protecting soil from long-term degradation? Soil is not just a medium for plant growth. It is a living system that regulates water, stores nutrients, supports biodiversity, and plays a critical role in climate regulation through carbon storage. However, decades of intensive cultivation and insufficient organic inputs have reduced soil organic matter worldwide, weakening soil structure and decreasing its capacity to retain both carbon and nitrogen. This study was designed to understand whether long-term organic amendments can rebuild these essential soil functions in a temperate no-till agroecosystem. The research focused on a long-term field experiment where different management practices were applied over many years. Treatments included compost, manure, cover cropping, and a fallow system used as a comparison. Because soil processes change slowly, long-term experiments are extremely valuable. They allow us to observe legacy effects, meaning how repeated management influences soil properties over decades rather than just a single season. The goal of this study was to evaluate how continuous organic inputs influence soil organic carbon and total nitrogen stocks, and how these changes interact with soil physical properties such as aggregation, porosity, and bulk density. These properties are strongly interconnected. When carbon increases, soil structure improves. When structure improves, soils retain more water and nutrients, creating a positive feedback that further stabilizes organic matter. Soil samples were collected at multiple depths to assess how deeply these management effects extend. Laboratory analyses measured carbon and nitrogen concentrations, while bulk density data were used to calculate actual soil stocks rather than just concentrations. This is important because true sequestration must account for soil mass and depth, not just percentages. The results clearly demonstrated that long-term applications of compost and manure significantly increased both soil organic carbon and total nitrogen compared with cover crop-only and fallow treatments. These organic amendments provided continuous external inputs of stabilized organic materials, which enhanced microbial processing and promoted the formation of persistent soil organic matter. One of the most important findings was the strong relationship between carbon and soil physical quality. Higher carbon levels were associated with improved aggregation, greater porosity, and reduced bulk density. These improvements enhance soil aeration, water retention, and root penetration, which are essential for sustainable crop production. In other words, organic amendments did not only add nutrients. They fundamentally improved how the soil functions as a system. Cover cropping also contributed positively, particularly through biological inputs such as root biomass and residue return, but its effects were more moderate compared with compost and manure, which supply larger quantities of organic material. The fallow treatment consistently showed the lowest carbon and nitrogen levels, highlighting the risks of systems that lack active organic matter replenishment. These findings reinforce the idea that soil carbon sequestration is not just a chemical process. It is tightly linked to soil structure and long-term management history. Organic inputs help build stable aggregates that physically protect carbon from decomposition, allowing soils to function as long-term carbon sinks while simultaneously improving productivity. From a broader perspective, this research demonstrates that integrating organic amendments with no-till management can create climate-resilient agricultural systems. By increasing soil carbon and nitrogen stocks, farmers can enhance nutrient cycling, improve water use efficiency, and reduce vulnerability to drought and erosion, all while contributing to climate change mitigation. In conclusion, long-term organic inputs such as compost and manure are powerful tools for restoring soil health. They strengthen the connection between biological, chemical, and physical soil processes, leading to multifunctional soils capable of sustaining both agricultural productivity and environmental quality. Sustainable soil management is therefore not a short-term intervention, but a long-term investment in the resilience of our agroecosystems.